समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। हरि ओम। For Chinmaya Vision Program and Education Policy of Central Chinmaya Mission Trust Education Cell, Param Poojya Guruji Swami Tejomayananda ji has written Chinmaya Shikshaa Darshanam, Vision of Chinmaya Education. In that present condition, deterioration of this education and how it should be ideally, that we come to know. So there is a small composition of 7 verses. So it goes like this. जीविका मात्र में तद्वै नास्ति विद्या प्रयोजनम् सर्वांगीण विकासो हि विद्ययापेक्षते बुधैः. Only providing for subsistence, this life, livinghood, that is not the purpose of this education. Sarvangina Vikasa, all round development, all round welfare and well-being, that is what is expected by the savant, the learned person from education. Jivika matra metadve nasti vidya prayojanam. And further Guruji himself will elaborate that little bit. So here education, vidya. So what this vidya is, what it should be, how it is defined according to scriptures. So many times jnana or vidya, these words we find very good elaboration on that in our scriptures. In Vishnu Purana it is said, Ya vidya sa vimuktaye. Education is that which helps us to be free from the mental shackles, from the conditioned thoughts, from the self-cancelling thoughts. Ya vidya sa vimuktaye. Education is that which liberates us from the slavery to mind. Ya vidya sa vimuktaye. In Vivek Chudamani, Bhagavan Bhashyakar Adya Shankaracharya says, Vidya syat asato nivrittihi. Education is that by which one comes back or retrieves from the badness, the evil. Vidya syat asato nivrittihi. So it is expected of who is educated that he is always entertaining good thoughts. He always does good actions and he also always speaks good words. So, Vidya, Sat, Sadachar, Sat, Sajjan, Sadgrantha, Sadvichar, Satkarma. So one who takes use to goodness, that is Vidya. And when one who brings back, makes you return from that evil vices, that is Vidya. Vidya syat asato nivrittihi. In Dhanyashtakam, again composition of Adya Shankaracharya, it is said, Tad jnanam prashamakaram yadindriyanam. Tad jnanam prashamakaram yadindriyanam. Knowledge is that which quietens your sense organs. Knowledge is that which calms your mind. Tadnanam prashamakaram yadendriyanam. So if these sense organs etc. are instigated more and more, made ambitious or full of passion, then that we cannot tell as Vidya. Because after all, that will lead us to rat race only. And Guruji nicely says, even if you win in the rat race, still you remain rat alone. You never come to your real stature of man in this instance, illustration, example, and really that God man, Supreme Self in life. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Vidya nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramihi vidyate. Knowledge is the best purifier. No other purifier is there like knowledge. Because once we get that knowledge, then again that ignorance doesn't come back. Because it heals that basic misunderstanding of our mind that I am this individual and I am doer and I am enjoyer, etc. So we come to know that I am the witness of all these faculties, these instruments that actually are doing in this world, made up of these 5 elements. Ramana Maharshi used to say that education is that which teaches the students to have mastery over their mind. Education is that which brings mind in your control. Education should make us alert, so as the student will check each and every thought or each and every desire that passes through his mind, whether this is good for my future, whether this is good for all. Swami Vivekananda said that education is that which brings out, which manifests the inherent divinity in a person. So every soul is potentially divine, and education should help one to bring out that goodness, that godness, that divinity. If it is making us baser and reducing us to the level of animals, making us selfish, and whatever knowledge we acquire through our sharp intellect, if that we use for cheating and doing all the other things like tax evasion and all, aggrandizement, hoarding, then there is very doubt that we can call that education as Vidya. Dignity of labor, helping nature, readiness to sacrifice for others, service attitude. This all should be the result of education. And according to Bhagavad, our own intellect is Guru and mind is disciple. And in this way, in this university, so universe is a school, Vishwa Vidyalaya, Vishwa Vidyapit. This world is a school, and each and everything in the universe teaches us something. So we should learn how to learn. Education should teach the student how to learn throughout life from this world. 24, 25 teachers are enlisted in Srimad Bhagavat. In Sri Datta Bhagwan's episode, Avdhuta Sishu Vishguru, 24 teachers of the pure person, avadhuta. Here Guruji says education is not that which teaches one to earn livelihood, to get some job, to do some business and teach that. Okay, that is there. But much more meaning is there. But first Guruji analyzes this theme only in the next verse. काले त्वाधुनिके दृष्टा विद्या मुख्या विवृत्तिदा लौकिकं बुद्धिचातुर्यं केवलं बहुमन्यते. काले तु आधुनिके, in this time, in present times, काले तु आधुनिके दृष्टा विद्या मुख्या ही वृत्तिदा. But nowadays it is seen that education is that we should give you job. If you get a service, then that is the fulfillment of education. Laukikam buddhi chaturyam kevalam bahumanyate. And if it makes you smart, then that is the ultimate use of intellect. That is what nowadays it is meant. Laukikam buddhi chaturyam kevalam buddhi bahumanyate. Means intellect fulfills its purpose in just being smart in worldly matters. In this way, this education and intelligence are interpreted nowadays. And real fulfillment of human intellect is to know that which is beyond intellect. The use of intellect is that to know that it is not useful in knowing the self. But now this meaning is taken, and therefore there is very little and limited scope as if that education and intellect is there. It is said that whatever intellect we get, only 5%, 5 to 10% intellect that we use, and research doers, scientists, they use maybe 15 to 20%. And the law of nature is use it or lose it. Then in what lies this use of intellect? In self-enquiry, to know who you are, why this birth, where from you came, what is the purpose of life, who made this world, who is that God, who is that Lord, and where he stays and what he does, what are indicators of him, what are characteristics of him. Our human intellect's capacity is to know this all, and for that purpose only it is given. And it is very gross use of intellect that we use for all ephemeral or empirical things. Further Guruji says, Yaya bhavenna samskara Chhatranam Shikshaya Shubha Nishphala Khalu Sa Shikshaa Sramaye Vahi Kevalam. Really, that education is fruitless. That education is not fertile. By which Yaya Bhavenna Samskaras Chhatranam, by which students' mind etc. are not purified, by which they don't get real happiness, they don't become pure and pious and auspicious. and whatever time and energy, efforts we spend in gaining such knowledge is really fruitless. That is barren efforts. यया भवेन्न संस्कारं छात्राणां शिक्षया शुभः निष्फला खलु सा शिक्षा श्रम एव हि केवलम. So when we say that I am educated, then I must be purified, refined personality should be there. Samskar in other things Guruji explained that Sadguna Adhanam Samskaram. So to remove the baseness, the animalistic tendencies in us, and to make us refined, cultured, good-natured, gentle, that is education. It is said that a cultured person gives happiness wherever he goes, the uncultured whenever he goes. As far as possible, there should be a smile on the face of the people around us. If we are to be considered as really educated, otherwise only literacy comes, but real education is that Sakshar, Sushikshit, Susanskrit, Sajjan, Sadguni. These are one step ahead in this, imbibing these virtues. Nishphala khalu sa Shikshaa shrama eva hi kevalam. If one person is hungry and there is food, he will eat. That is just nature. If a person is hungry and other person is also hungry and he is having food, one is having food, the first person, then he will share half of that food to him. That is called culture. And when one person is hungry, no food is there with him, other is having food, so to take that food, to steal that food, or to snatch that food, that is uncultured. So when we get birth, Janmana Jayate Shudra, when we get birth, we don't have any culture, etc. No feeling of appreciation of mother's efforts, no feeling of sacrifice when she is ill, etc. But slowly, these refinementary thoughts, slowly how to think, how to speak, how to do, that is to be taught. And that work is done by teachers in the school, parents, neighbors, relatives, elders, etc. That is what is expected. Next, Guruji says, Upadhiviryutaschatra Vishwavidyalayasya hi Paribhramanto Drishyante Jevikarthamitastatah. Now the obvious fact that we see is given here by Guruji. He said, Upadhivir Yutaschatra, the products of universities, those who have gathered this graduation, post-graduation, PhD and all. Upadhivir Yutaschatra, Vishwavidyalayasya hi, from university, those people, those students who come out after taking their due education, maybe 20, 25, 30 years. One parent, he asked that what will be your son when he finishes his education? And that father said he will be 40 years old. So this was span of life just spent in getting oneself educated. उपाधिभिर्युताश्छात्रा विश्वविद्यालयस्य हि परिभ्रमन्तो दृश्यन्ते जीविकार्थमेतस्थितः, and still they are wandering to find job, and still there is so much this extent of job rotation or job hopping. Why? Because these basic things are there, that yes, loyalty, then perseverance, persistence, contentment, and faith in God. Yes, wherever He has put me, whatever work He has given to me, whatever role He has assigned to me, that is best for me. This lack of faith. Therefore, we see that people keep on changing their job, not satisfaction, always looking at the weak side of that, and they never find complete contentment. And in the first place, they don't find job also. Itasthitaha. Many times, an engineer who has come from the university, an engineer, he doesn't find any job which has good perks, and then he goes in courier industry, courier work. Then again that also he leaves, and then he goes in transport, and then that also he is, and then he go again doing some chartered accountancy, etc. And at the end, there is nothing in his hand. It is said that once one lawyer, he was having some problem with the tap in the bathroom, so he called a plumber, and plumber came, and whatever leakage problem or something was there, that he solved. And then lawyer asked what is fee, so he said 500 rupees. So the lawyer exclaimed that, oh, it is surprising that you get 500 rupees for so much less time that you worked. I am a lawyer, I also do not get that much. So the plumber said, that is the exact reason why I left this advocacy or lawyerhood. I was also lawyer, I was also advocate. So we see whatever career we take, but either joy is not there or job is not there. This is what is the result of education from universities nowadays. Sometimes we see. Further, Guruji says, why they don't get job? Sahasam nacha samarthyam swatantrayam swavalambanam nirmanaya bhavishyasya duradrushtirna vidyate. Because the qualities that make their personality employable, employment is not there because they are not employable. So what is that sahasam? So ability to take risk, adventurous nature, going into unknown places and dealing and handling unknown processes. Sahasam, samarthyam, physical strength, mental ability, willpower, and sharp and subtle and pure intellect to penetrate the unknown fields of knowledge. Sahasam, na cha samarthyam, swatantrayam, and also an independent nature, free will over our own senses, mind, etc. Many times our thoughts only limit us. We can do anything, but by our thoughts only we limit ourselves. How I can be victorious? How I will win? Never it has happened. I am not meant for that. So this is defeatist attitude. So sahasam, samarthyam, swatantram, swavalambanam. So many things that we are dependent on. Right from the morning. If tea is not there, then completely day gone. We are addict as if on so many things. In the night also, if I don't get that my pillow, then I cannot sleep. Your pillow? Which is that? That pillow which has all that smell of oil and has become oily and dirty. So many things. Morning, if I don't get newspaper, then I just lose my temper. I get offended. So avalambanam. When a person is self-supported, not much dependent on others, then that time he enjoys freedom. So even if all other things and people are there, well and good. If not there, it's okay. It is expected that the university product, the students who come out of university with degrees, they should be able to look after themselves, wash their own clothes, cook food for themselves, and take care of all other things of daily need. So avalaman, and also emotional independence. If somebody says that, if somebody looks at me or not, if somebody smiles at me or not, if I get to hear no for something, if I have to face competition, if I have to face criticism, if I have to agree and admit my mistakes, when I left supportless, so in all such conditions, how to come out of that? And how to face life and make life. So, emotional independence. Intellectual independence, how to form our opinions. Not always that printed material is correct. That is standard. Whatever is written in newspaper is correct. Whatever comes on Google, that is right. It is not that. Original books. Then self-analysis, self-observation, self-thinking. Then I have to form my opinion. I have to listen to all people, but decide on my own responsibility. Because I have to live my own life. No other can live. Though they may help. I may also help others, but I cannot live others' life. So in this way, swavalambanam, that is not seen in today's students, but that should be there. That is what is expected. Nirmanaya bhavishyasya duradrushtirna vidyate. And forecasting and vision is not there. Very narrow vision is there. After 10 years, after 20 years, after 30 years, what you will be? After you cross, you will be middle aged or you become old aged, then what will be your fate? Then at that time, on what you will be proud of yourself? Yes, I achieved this, I got this, I wanted this and I got this. Money is not everything. Though money is required, you might be knowing that long list of there that you can buy with money bed but not sleep. You can buy food with your money but not hunger, but not digesting strength. You can buy with your money the other all luxurious things but not real happiness, comfort. Friends, निर्माणाय भविष्यस्य दूरदृष्टिर्न विद्यते. What is goal of my life? What is goal in life? Goal of life, that is happiness. As far as possible, without doing anything, wherever I am, in whatever condition I am, I should be happy. And that happiness should never end. It should always be there. And that happiness should be immediate, not after 1 year, 2 years, 10 years I will get. And for that goal of life, then sub goals are there. They say if you want to become happy for an hour, then take a nap. In that sleep, you will forget your sorrows. You will be happy for 1 hour, but after that you will be woken. It is not that you will sleep forever. If you want to become happy for a day, go fishing. Pursue your hobby, etc., where your mind reveals. If you want to become happy for a month, get married. If you want to become happy for a year or for one life, then do others happy. Distribute happiness to all others around you. And if you be happy forever, then know yourself. So self-knowledge gives happiness forever. Come what may, old age, disease or death. Because then you rise above all. And you just witness that all condition of old age, death and disease as we watch and witness all other events in our life. And you know that I am not that dying stuff. I am the eternal self. साहसं न च सामर्थ्यं स्वातन्त्र्यं च दृश्यते निर्माणाय भविष्यस्य दूरदृष्टिर्न विद्यते. This vision is education is expected to introduce our students with. Then Guruji says, Vina jivana drushtim hi vina seva vratam tatha vidya purna bhavet karma vina brahmarpanam yatha. Vina jivana drushtim, without the vision for life. Vina seva vratam tatha, without the service attitude or the vow to service all. Vidya apurna bhavet, education is incomplete. As example is given, as the action done without offering it to God. When the action is offered to the Lord, that work becomes worship. That each and every act becomes one flower that we offer at the altar of the God. But if that is not done, then how that causes binding to us then, that causes bondage to us. Because again and again we feel the same desire to act. We go through same efforts, same hardships, and then again and again little bit here and there a particle of happiness we get, and again the same circle goes on. Even if this body fails, then for that another body is taken, so this goes on. In the same way, this education is incomplete, is imperfect if these two things are not given to students. Which are the two things? Vision of life and service attitude or vow to service. Because you see, even animals, birds and insects, they also procure their food, they also procreate, they also have progeny. So then what is the difference between them, these animals, and us, cats and dogs and bullocks and donkeys and monkeys? definitely there is difference. We have got this intellect and fully evolved mind, which have finest emotions, feelings, and this body also so sophistically and complicatedly, subtly made that it can create so many masterpieces of art. So many skills are there. Our ears, 576 megapixels resolutions. Our bones, strong than concrete pillars. So many things are there. This body we have got, such a mind we have got, which can think for others. Such intellect we have got, which can understand that God principle also, who has created this all. And for that purpose, actually, it is created. They say that God, when creating all these inert things also, and living beings also, nobody was appreciating him. All the animals, birds, serpents, nobody was appreciating his work, his art, his productivity, his creativity. Therefore, he prepared man, and he expected that man will appreciate him. He will try to understand how he has prepared, how he has made all this, and he will just be devoted to him. He will know his greatness. So, in this way, we are different, definitely. So, what we have to do? We should have this vision of life. What is my vision of life? I will acquire knowledge and then I will distribute that knowledge. Adhyayan, Adhyapan, learning and teaching. And by that way I will serve. Even if that attitude is not there, then I will create something good for all. Something that people will be proud of. Bina seva vratam. So this service attitude, because I take so much right from my birth. I take air in, I take food, I take water, I remain in this space, I remain on this earth. So I am taking and taking. All the things in nature are giving and giving. Very punctually, very regularly, very sincerely, sun is rising and giving heat and light to all. These mountains, these rivers, trees, sun and moon, they all are giving. What I give, so I should serve. God has given me these faculties, this body. So with that, definitely, I will do some difference here. I will make the world better. If this vision is not given to students, then that knowledge, that education is still incomplete. This is the fulfillment of knowledge. Guruji says further, कटिबद्धा वयं चात्र लक्ष्यं साधयितुं वरं शिक्षायास्त्रिविधं यद्वै ज्ञानं सेवा च कौशलम्. कटिबद्धा वयं छात्र, we at this here Chinmaya Vidyalayas, at this Chinmaya education system, Chinmaya education policy, Katibaddha Vayam Chatra, Laksham Sadhayitum Varam, great goal we have kept for ourselves. And to attain that, to march towards that, to achieve that, we are bound. We have decided, we have determined our mind to go towards that. And what is that? Shikshaa Trividham Yadvai. That is threefold goal of education. And which are those three things? Jnanam, Seva cha Kaushalam. Knowledge, service and skill. Kaushalam, expertise. So when one is adept to do something, dexterous work. So Jnanam, Seva cha Kaushalam. That knowledge, that learning, that education, then using that for service, and just then having this skill, perfect expertise on this, mastery over all the limbs. So Jnanam Sevacha Kaushalam. This can be a good motto for a school. These three are the goals of education that we have fixed, and we are striving to get that. And each and every day we go nearer and nearer to it. In this way, this Chinmaya Shikshaa Darshanam, Param Poojya Guruji has composed. And when it came to Chinmaya Vishwavidyapit, Guruji gave one nice line Sanskrit statement for them. It is in Totaka Vritta. Totaka Vritta is that Vritta in which Totakacharya praised Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya. That story goes like this. Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya had many disciples, renunciate also and householders also, but mainly 4 major disciples are noted in history. And out of that, one is this Sanandan Giri. So one day it happened, actually that Giri was more service oriented, service minded. So he always used to look after Acharya, Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya, wash his clothes, then press his legs, and look after his food and bed, etc. And therefore he was not much seen in the study of all Sanskrit grammar, Sanskrit Upanishads, and by hearting the things and explaining and giving discourses, etc. And then Shastra Charcha, debate over that, how to interpret the scriptures. He was not seen in that much. So one day it happened that he went to wash clothes of Adi Shankaracharya ji on the river, and there was time for class, daily morning class. So Shankaracharya said, let us wait till Giri comes. So the other people said, oh, we should not wait for him. No use of teaching him, because he doesn't do all this study, etc. He is not learned, and he is not interested, and he cannot remember, etc. also. So Shankaracharya did not say anything, but in mind only, with his just sankalpa, with his just thought, he bestowed all the knowledge to this Giri. And he waited. And when he came, and that time, he said, Giri, today you explain what I was explaining last class, yesterday. From that point onward, you explain. You just recap our last class study, and then you go forth. And without his knowledge also, he sat there and he explained all the things. And then after finishing that, everybody was kept aghast, and he himself was more surprised than them, that how it happened. And then he understood that it is all grace of Shankaracharya. Then he fall flat at his feet, and spontaneously he praised him in this Totaka Vritta, that is famous hymn of teacher. विदिताखिल शास्त्र सुधा जलधे महितोपनिषत् कथितार्थ विधे हृदये कमले विमलं चरणं भवशङ्कर देशिकमे शरणं भवशङ्कर देशिकमे शरणं. So in that Totaka Vritta, Guruji has composed this line. Vidyaya rakshita sanskriti sarvada sanskriter manava sanskrita bhurida. Vidyaya rakshita sanskriti sarvada sanskriter manava sanskrita bhurida. It is different meter, I think. like Pankti, but six letters are there in each quarter. Vidya Rakshita Sanskriti Sarvada. Education, this knowledge protects the culture. Vidya Rakshita Sanskriti Sarvada. Every time it is seen that knowledge protects culture. Sanskrutehe manavaha sanskrutaha bhuridaha. And when a person, an ordinary person, when he is refined with the help of this Sanskriti, then he becomes the giver. Then he becomes a charity giver. Means whatever he has, he shares it with all the people. His thoughts, his good wishes, his skills, and his all other things also. So when we come to know about our culture, then that culture is maintained, secured, and we after that also it is expected that we follow that, we apply that culture in our life. And such a cultured person is always a generous person, liberal hearted person, and who gives and gives to others, everybody. So in this way, Chinmaya, Shikshaa, Darshanam, we offer our surrender, this reflection at the feet of Guru. Om Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Shri Chinmaya Sadguru